Greetings, friend. How are you doing today? I have one question for you today. My question, have you ever had a moment where you are going to an important meeting where you meet people for the first time, like a networking that you've never been to, or an interview, or something in that aspect, perhaps a new date? And right when you got there, you spill coffee or sauce all over your clothing, or maybe even rip your pants. Or you go to the bathroom right beforehand, and then you notice this big blotch that you got a back bite, or maybe you got a big giant pimple, right? Like in the middle of your forehead, kind of thing. What would you do if that happened? And this happened with me the other day, actually. I went to a meeting that I've never been, and it was a networking with groups. The whole day it was a networking meeting, multiple different groups, all of them I've never met before. I went to the bathroom right before the first one, and I look in the mirror, and you could barely see it anymore here. But before, right before that, right here in the middle of my forehead, right in the middle of my forehead, was this big giant pimple. I mean, I kid you not. It looks like I was trying to grow a horn, right? And I went, okay, this is not ideal. And it was just unpleasant looking for me. And there is a part of me that was like, okay, I wonder if there is like a store of some form that sell uh, a concealer. My significant other mentioned this before. He learned it from his female friend. But I was like, oh my God, I wish I am like most women who will have a concealer in their purse, supposedly, or something like that. And I just like sit there, and there was a part of me that just wanted to hide. Have you ever kind of feel this? You're like, oh my God, how am I gonna fix this giant coffee stain or the rip on my pants or something like that? And at the same time, I was like, well, there's no time for me to go rambling around. And so, what would you do? What would you do in that very moment? Well, I decided, I don't know what you're going to do, but I decided, I said, well, you know, I'm going to networking to meet people whom I never met. And guess what? It will be a heck lot easier for them to remember me if we connect. If I look like I am turning into a unicorn. And so that boosts my energy up. And I said, you know what? It's just gonna be super awesome. I mean, if we meet, if there is somebody whom I connect, imagine how easy it is. It'll be a lot more easier rather than me lost in the sea of 100 people. They will be like, yeah, that lady that, we have a card look like this, but when we met her, she looked like she was turning into a unicorn. I'm like, I'm just gonna rock it. And you know what? Actually, I'm gonna pull my hair back so it's very nice and apparent. And so turned out that, and then of course I'm grateful that that's the only so-called possible adversities, right? And everything else is wonderful that I got there, and everything else wonderful. I feel healthy otherwise. And so I went into the networking with this energy that it doesn't matter what going on my face or anything else, I'm going to rock it. I'm gonna rock it. And so the result of that networking, a whole day of networking, was amazing. Was so amazing that I connected with people that I would never even dream to connect. That I was able to bring a lot of good and have a loads of fun. And these are with industry that I'm not even familiar with typically. So perhaps you are going on a date and something happened. Perhaps it's a networking. Perhaps it's an interview. Something happened. What would you do? What would you do? Would you try to cover up? Can I change my hairstyle? Can I cover it? And I did thought about it. How well can I cover my face? And then, or Or would you say, well, let's just see, let's how is this going to make me more unique and perhaps even make a little fun with that? If anybody would have said anything, I would have just make fun. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to turn into a unicorn or something like that to become the magic horse, right? I'm turning into magical. And as a result, between that and being grateful, deciding that regardless of what's going on, I'm going to just rock it. And I'm grateful for a lot of great things that I was able to attend that magnificent networking. Even before I started, well, before I entered the room, I'm like, I'm going to rock this, and this is going to be the whole day of best ever networking up until now. And so that actually really turned out, the result was amazing. So what is it that you are? Perhaps life happens, life happens with us, and perhaps it is something like that. Perhaps it's something else of a different magnitude. Perhaps you've been working towards something. It's a project, and then right at the last minute, it goes boom. Your computer. One time I went to a speaking, and then they're like, yeah, well, we don't have computer and we can't, and the setup is in such a way, and all this other thing. I was like, okay, you have a flip chart and decided that whatever you have, you will find something to be thankful about, and that you're going to rock it anyway. And that's my peace of mind tip for you. Things happen, whether you're going to networking, whether you got a bug bite or a pimple or a spill on your clothing, or a project that or an engagement at the last minute going, we current things go strange. What about if you say, okay, we're gonna do what we can with what we have, and then decide that you're going to rock it anyway, and that yet you are grateful for what it is that's going your way, and see that if you do that, regardless of what's been going on or what you notice at the moment, that you might as well just still rock it magnificently. And if you are facing something that perhaps it's more of a project than a moment in time like that you feel that you can benefit from having a different pair of eyes looking at it, because we know there's an expression that when you are the one in the picture, it's kind of hard to see the picture. And so if that's the case, I'm happy to just look at what it is that's going on in your life, and share my thought with you, and then perhaps that can give you a slightly different perspective and get you to rock it regardless of what's going on that is not for you, not seemingly going the way you would love to be. And so just share in the comment below if you ever have such an experience, which is kind of like, oh no, but then it turns to be so much fun and such great result. Or if you would love to connect with me for any reason, feel welcome to share in the comment below or to message me. And this is Burjit with Joyful Riches Beyond Grief. And I love you very much. I see that as you practice this like moment to moment strategic change in your perception of things, that you have more peace of mind and more ease and more fun as you create more welcome more abundance and create your wonderful thriving life one day at a time, and a magnificent thriving life as a whole. And I look forward to see you again very, very soon.